everybody, and welcome to the Upkeep for Monday, February 4th, 2019. All the Magic news you need in 10 minutes or less. And this week, that is going to be a challenge, but we're trying to do it.
Yep, we're going to race through these. So sometimes if you're like, they're talking fast, why am I spending time explaining this? Let's get started.
Okay, let's go. Okay, so the first big news was the MtG Arena Mythic Invitational was announced, including all of the details about the format for the event and who was going to be a part of it.
That's right, 64 people are invited. That is the entire MPL minus Ray Sato, so that's 31 pro players plus invited streamers, and then the top 8 on Arena ranked constructed as of noon PT on Thursday, February 28th.
So there's a $1 million prize pool for this tournament, which is just incredible. $250,000 to the winner, $7,500 just for showing up.
That's right. You can go lose, and still get $7,500.
Seems like a good payday.
That's right. There are more arena championships down the line, somewhere in Magic's future, but those are going to feature just the MPL. We don't know if maybe this event will be recreated next year, but for the foreseeable future, those ones are just going to be MPL versus people who can qualify in a way that is, as of now, unknown.
So the tournament structure is something they're calling duo standard, which means you bring 2 standard legal decks, no sideboard unless you're using the card Mastermind's Acquisition, in which case you can have one, but it's 2 standard decks, no sideboard. They can be the same deck, or
Yes.
they can be 2 different decks.
So you can really double down if you believe mono red is the way to go.
Which I think we'll see happen.
Yes. The tournament structure is double elimination, which means 2 losses and you're out. So there will be groups of 16. There will be a cut to Saturday and then a cut to a top 4 on Sunday.
All right, that seems pretty straightforward so far.
That's right.
But where things get a little weird is what we're doing here in gameplay. So the first game that you're doing is, of course, randomly decided who's going first, but what's also randomly decided is which of your 2 decks you're playing with.
Yes.
When you go on to a game 2, if you make it to game 2, whoever went second in the first game is gonna go first in the second game,
so it's not a classic loser gets to choose.
No, it's a little different than that, and you must play the deck that you didn't play with game 1. Again, this can be the same deck. You're like, well, now I swap out to my second mono red deck or whatever.
Yes.
And then the third game, your deck once again is okay. So it's once again randomly determined who's going to be going first, the same as I guess the game 1 goes. And then you can select one of your 2 standard decks for the third game again, so you get to choose. Whew.
A little bit of mini metagaming there.
Yeah.
There was a little bit of controversy surrounding the Mythic Invitational, specifically the invites, as several people felt like they were big snubs of prominent Magic
and
streamers.
And we're not talking about the all 3 for one single appointment.
Country. Streamers like Jeff Hoogland and Caleb D, who both have very large audiences and have been streaming for a very long time. However, you can say like those go up and down the bracket, right? There were tons of people who you could name. You could name more than there were slots available to invite them of people who you think should have been invited and weren't.
For sure. There's also big controversy surrounding one of the players, Mayfer, who actually dropped out of the tournament after some homophobic tweets she had made earlier in her life were discovered, and there was a big thing about it. If you want to go in and read more about it, you can search through Reddit and find out all of the sorts of things that happened. It was not good, but in the end, she dropped out. So there's a slot. No word on how or if that is going to be refilled or with whom from Wizards of the Coast.
Another small controversy is that the last preseason that just ended, some people said that the rank that they were told that they were on the client did not match the rank that they were emailed at the end of the season. So if players were within the top however many, I want to say about 1,000, they got an email telling them about their exact rank, and it did not match what they had last seen when they had played Arena.
So just today, there was a bug fix updated on Arena that's supposed to fix this problem. Fingers crossed that it does.
Moving on, slightly related.
Ooh, yes.
The article, The And of MtG Arena by Chris Clay and Aaron Forsyth.
So this article lays out their reasons for the way that they're kind of pushing the direction of Magic and potentially competitive Magic in the future in relation to Arena. Basically, summing up the article, they're saying they want to leave tabletop the way it is, and they want to feel free to experiment and do lots of weird and wild things in the Arena sphere. They think that sideboarding is a difficult task that is turning some people away from the game, and they want to lower the barrier to entry by having lots of best of one situations like this Mythic Invitational is showing.
Newsflash, the best way to lower barrier to entry is to put it on Macs and phones.
Amen. And we both personally love the fact that Magic is a hard game. If you want to hear us talk more about this, go check out our full-length podcast, Good Luck High Five.
That's right. There we also reference an article by Saffron Olive in which he also talks about how difficulty is part of what draws people to Magic and makes them fall in love with the game. And that's an important thing that we should preserve and love and honor as opposed to move away from.
All right, so there's going to be a new modern product hitting store shelves coming up soon. Mark Rosewater says, it's something I've said on my blog. This product is this year's innovation product, and we created it through our very first hackathon. If you don't love it, I'd be floored.
Ooh.
What could it be?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I literally have no idea.
Can I say something that is weird, though?
What?
New modern product? Like, what's modern anymore?
Spoken like a true arena player over here.
I mean, just like, seriously, we're not seeing it anywhere. It's all arena. It can't play it on arena.
It's true. One of the big downsides of there not being GP coverage, at least right now that we know of, is that we don't get to see that format anymore.
No.
And we love modern.
And
there are so many players who love modern.
Anyway.
And that was one of the few ways that you got to see that format played. I miss it.
I just thought I saw this and I was like, oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. Next item up for bids is Scg Baltimore Open happened this past weekend. This was a team format in that the teams had standard, legacy, and I almost said limited, and modern decks to play. And the winners were Jacob Hagan, who was running standard with Azorius Aggro, Ryan Overturf with Teamer Phoenix in modern, and Liz Lynn was playing Dimir, Death Shadow, and Legacy. So congratulations to that.
Pretty sweet.
Yeah.
There was also a Magic Fest in Sydney, Australia, and there were the top 8 deck lists of Magic Fest Sydney.
The winner was Jaren Puzit, who was playing Rakdos in the top 8 draft, and who had 9-0'd the previous day, completely undefeated with the Rakdos deck. So might be that Rakdos is where it's Actos in Limited.
I certainly have not felt that way when I've tried to draft it, so extra props to him from me. There was also Gruul Splash Blue, Simic, another Simic, another Rakdos, a Gates deck.
You gotta have one Gates player in there.
8, and an Azorius, 2 copies of Azorius.
And I think it's kind of universally acknowledged at this point that Gruul is the least favorite in draft.
Yes.
The least favorite clan to draft in the set, which I kind of agree with. It just doesn't have the tools that a lot of the other decks have, unfortunately, which is kind of Gruul's thing. Like, we don't use tools, we smash people with our face.
We smash, smash, smash.
Yeah.
Last up, congratulations to the very last RPTQ winners of all time.
So sad, but so happy for them.
Yes.
So they've qualified for the Pro Tour in London coming up later this year. So congratulations to all of those winners. How will people qualify for these events in the future?
Who knows?
We still don't know.
We don't know at all.
Wow. So we've been promised an announcement about this coming up in the future. And Blake, who's one of the people who makes announcements on behalf of Wizards of the Coast, says the reason that they're not putting anything out now is because they don't want to do any more half announcements or, 1/4 announcements. They want to do full announcements. So they're waiting till they can do a full announcement. Meanwhile, all of us and all of the grinders.
So the real answer is that they don't know.
I don't know. Maybe not.
If you can't make a full announcement, what's stopping you?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well.
Well, there you go. That's a lot of the news, and we managed to do it in under 9 minutes, which is really impressive.
Oh, yeah. We raced through some of that early stuff.
We really did. So again, if you want to get more hot takes or in-depth information on all of this, check out our full-length podcast, Good Luck High Five, and please consider supporting us on Patreon at patreon.com/GLHFMagic. We do a full-length podcast. We do the Upkeep. We've got videos coming out 3 times a week. We've got streams on twitch.tv/GLHFMagic.
So much stuff to find.
So much stuff.
Party on, people.
Party on.